La Niña is a fascinating and powerful natural climate pattern that begins in the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, but its effects ripple out to touch nearly every corner of the globe. You may have heard the term in weather reports or news stories, but what exactly does it mean? And why does it matter so much? La Niña occurs when the surface water in the central and eastern Pacific becomes noticeably cooler than average. This cooling isn't just a minor dip in temperature. It can be several degrees lower than normal, and it lasts for months at a time. When these waters cool, it sets off a chain reaction in the atmosphere above. The cooler ocean surface changes wind patterns and shifts the movement of clouds, which in turn alters weather patterns not just locally, but all around the world. La Niña is actually one half of a larger climate cycle known as the El Niño Southern Oscillation, or ENSO for short. Its counterpart, El Niño, is marked by unusually warm Pacific waters. Together, these two phases create a powerful push and pull effect on global weather. Scientists keep a close watch on ocean temperatures and wind patterns using satellites, research vessels, and floating buoys. When they observe a significant and sustained drop in Pacific surface temperatures, they officially declare a La Niña event. This shift in ocean temperature has a dramatic impact on the jet stream, a fast-moving river of air high above the Earth. The jet stream's path can be pushed north or south, leading to a variety of weather changes. Some regions may experience colder, snowier winters, while others might see extended dry spells or even drought. By understanding how La Niña works, meteorologists and climate scientists can better predict what's coming. This knowledge is crucial for communities and industries that depend on the weather, from agriculture to energy and beyond. For example, farmers can adjust their planting schedules or choose crops that are more resilient to drought or heavy rain. Coastal residents might prepare for an increased risk of storms, while people living in northern regions could brace for colder, snowier winters. Emergency managers and city planners use forecasts based on La Niña to prepare for potential floods, wildfires, or water shortages. This proactive approach can help protect lives, property, and vital resources. It's important to remember that La Niña isn't about a single storm or a one-time event. Instead, it's a long-term pattern that shapes the climate over months, sometimes even years, influencing everything from rainfall to hurricane activity. As we approach the winter of 2025 to 2026, meteorologists and forecasters are keeping a close eye on the Pacific, watching for the telltale signs of La Niña's return. Their observations help communities prepare for what's ahead. The La Niña pattern is a powerful reminder of how deeply interconnected Earth's systems are. A change in one part of the world can set off a cascade of effects thousands of miles away, linking oceans, atmosphere, and land. That's why it's so important for everyone, not just scientists or officials, to stay informed and ready for the changes La Niña can bring. Being prepared can make all the difference when it comes to weathering the storm. Ultimately, La Niña's influence is a powerful reminder of our planet's dynamic and ever-changing climate, and of our shared responsibility to understand and adapt to the world around us. As of August 2025, climate centers around the world are keeping a vigilant eye on the Pacific Ocean, searching for the earliest signs of La Niña's arrival. Teams of scientists are analyzing ocean temperatures, wind patterns, and atmospheric conditions, using advanced technology and decades of experience to detect subtle changes that could signal the onset of this powerful climate phenomenon. Their work is crucial, as La Niña can have far-reaching impacts on weather patterns across the globe. A La Niña watch is currently in effect, which means that conditions in the Pacific are becoming increasingly favorable for its development. Meteorologists are seeing early indicators, such as cooler than average sea surface temperatures and shifting trade winds, that suggest La Niña could be on the horizon. This watch status is a signal for governments, farmers, and communities to start preparing for possible changes in weather. According to the latest forecast, there's about a 60% chance that La Niña will form between October 2025 and January 2026. This window is critical, as it aligns with the transition from fall to winter in the Northern Hemisphere. During this period, the Pacific Ocean's cooling trend is expected to intensify, increasing the likelihood of La Niña's development. Scientists are watching this time frame closely, as the exact timing can influence the severity and duration of its effects. The anticipated arrival of La Niña coincides with the Northern Hemisphere's winter, a season already known for its challenging weather. If La Niña does develop as expected, it could amplify winter storms, alter precipitation patterns and bring colder temperatures to many regions. This overlap means that communities may experience more intense winter weather than usual, making early preparation even more important. At the moment, the Pacific remains in what scientists call an ENSO-neutral state, where neither El Niño nor La Niña is dominant. However, climate models are increasingly predicting a gradual cooling of ocean waters in the coming months. This cooling trend is a key precursor to La Niña, and experts are monitoring it with heightened attention. If sea surface temperatures in the central and eastern Pacific drop below a certain threshold for a sustained period, the current watch will be upgraded to a La Niña advisory. This would confirm that La Niña is not just possible, but likely underway, prompting more specific guidance for affected regions. While different meteorological agencies may have slightly varying estimates, there is broad agreement on the likelihood of La Niña's development this season. International collaboration ensures that data is shared and forecasts are as accurate as possible, though the exact probabilities can differ based on the models and methods used. The U.S. Climate Prediction Center, along with other major agencies, provides monthly updates on La Niña's progress. These updates are essential for decision-makers, emergency planners, and the public, offering the latest insights on timing, strength, and potential impacts. One of the biggest uncertainties remains the potential strength of this La Niña event. The intensity will determine how much it influences global weather, from increased rainfall in some areas to drought in others. Scientists are using every tool at their disposal to refine these predictions as new data comes in. As we move into fall and winter, now is the time to pay close attention to weather forecasts and climate outlooks. Staying informed can help individuals, businesses, and communities prepare for whatever La Niña may bring, from changes in temperature to shifts in rainfall and storm patterns. With the Pacific signaling a major shift, it's wise to prepare for La Niña's classic effects, cooler waters, altered weather, and the potential for dramatic changes in the months ahead. The world is watching, and preparation is key as we await La Niña's arrival. La Niña begins as a shift in the Pacific Ocean, where cooler than average sea surface temperatures develop along the equator, especially near the central and eastern Pacific. This phenomenon is the opposite of El Niño, and while it starts in the ocean, its effects ripple far beyond. The changes in the Pacific set off a chain reaction, impacting global weather patterns on nearly every continent. The atmosphere responds quickly, redistributing heat and moisture around the world. La Niña alters air circulation, creating a zone of high pressure over the central Pacific. This shift in pressure is crucial as it changes the way winds and clouds move across the globe. As a result, the trade winds, those steady winds that blow from east to west, become even stronger, pushing warm surface waters further toward Asia and Australia. This movement of warm water fuels more intense rainfall and storms in regions like Indonesia, Australia, and much of Southeast Asia, often leading to flooding and powerful tropical cyclones. Meanwhile, the Eastern Pacific and parts of South America, such as Chile and Argentina, experience the opposite. Drier conditions, reduced rainfall, and sometimes severe drought that can threaten crops and water supplies. La Niña also disrupts the jet stream, a fast-moving ribbon of air high in the atmosphere, causing it to shift north or south. This can bring colder winters to some mid-latitude regions and unusual weather patterns elsewhere. In Africa, the effects are split. Southern Africa may benefit from increased rainfall, boosting crops and water resources, while Eastern Africa often faces drought, threatening food security and livelihoods. Even distant regions like India can feel La Niña's influence as it can strengthen or alter the timing of the monsoon, sometimes bringing heavier rains or shifting the wet season. In this way, La Niña sets off a global domino effect, shifting weather patterns and increasing the risk of extreme events, floods, droughts, storms, and heat waves across the planet. The cooling of the Pacific doesn't just stay in the ocean, it rearranges atmospheric pressure and wind patterns, influencing weather thousands of miles away. Ultimately, La Niña's reach is vast, bringing floods to some areas, drought to others, and reminding us how interconnected our planet's climate truly is. In North America, La Niña creates a north-south weather divide. The polar jet stream shifts, bringing cold, wet winters to the north. Regions like the Pacific Northwest and Great Lakes see more snow. This helps with water supply but increases flood risks. The southern US experiences warmer, drier conditions, raising drought risks. This pattern affects areas from Southern California to Florida. La Niña split allows communities to prepare for specific weather challenges. Whether facing blizzards or drought, La Niña's influence is significant. It highlights the diverse impacts of this climate pattern across the continent. La Niña reshapes global rainfall, causing wet and dry extremes. Southeast Asia and Australia face heavy rains and potential flooding. The Western Pacific's warm waters fuel active monsoon seasons. Conversely, South America and the Horn of Africa often experience drought. The southern US also faces drought as storm tracks shift north. These patterns have serious implications for agriculture and water supply. La Niña's strength influences the severity of these weather events. Understanding these patterns helps in preparing for La Niña's impacts. Governments and communities can take proactive measures to mitigate risks. La Niña creates conditions for an active Atlantic hurricane season. It reduces wind shear, allowing storms to strengthen. This leads to more named storms and hurricanes in the Atlantic. The 2020 hurricane season, with 30 named storms, occurred during La Niña. As La Niña develops, forecasters expect a busy late hurricane season. Coastal residents should prepare for increased storm activity. La Niña's influence on hurricanes highlights global climate interconnections. It underscores the need for preparedness in vulnerable regions. La Niña is natural, but climate change amplifies its effects. A warmer world intensifies La Niña's droughts and floods. Higher temperatures increase evaporation, worsening dry conditions. More moisture in the atmosphere leads to heavier rains during storms. Climate change sets a new baseline, making La Niña's impacts more extreme. Researchers study how climate change affects La Niña's frequency and intensity. While uncertainties remain, the changing climate alters La Niña's stage. Preparing for La Niña now includes considering climate change's influence. This ensures readiness for potentially unprecedented weather events. Forecasting La Niña involves data and models, with some uncertainties. As of August 2025, experts are confident La Niña will develop. Cooling trends in the Pacific support this outlook. Large-scale patterns, like US weather shifts, are well understood. However, the strength of La Niña remains uncertain. Monthly updates refine forecasts and inform preparations. Climate forecasts predict broad patterns, not specific weather events. Public should follow updates from agencies like the Climate Prediction Center. An advisory signals increased confidence in La Niña's impacts. As winter 2025 to 2026 approaches, La Niña is likely to shape global weather. North America will see a split cold, snowy north and warm, dry south. Ski resorts may thrive, but drought risks increase in the south. La Niña also links to a more active hurricane season. Globally, expect increased rain in Southeast Asia and drought in East Africa. Climate change may amplify these effects, making them more extreme. Stay informed with updates from official sources. Prepare for local conditions, whether snow, drought, or storms. Being informed and ready is key to navigating La Niña's challenges.